way too much experience to be underestimated. Looks like the game is about to begin soon. Let's take a look at our two players. There they are, White-Ra on the right, Stephano, of course, on the left. It's labeled, so I don't even need to really say that.
Oh man, this is going to be, of course, the best of three. First map, Cloud Kingdom. The first map and the first game and series of Group B here starting. And what a series we're in for, of course, two fan favorites going head-to-head.
It'll be awesome. Well, let's get things started, guys. Down at the bottom left part of the map, in the pink, of course, from the Team Millennium, it is none other than Stephano. And our player with the good luck to his opponent in the red, playing Protoss in the upper right part of the map from TT Esports, it is White-Ra.
And an interesting fact here is when I spoke to Stephano about this matchup and the results he's had here with the recently 90% win rate in 2012 is that I say you have lost games though against pros players, be it just maps, why? And he's like, well, the thing is I didn't know or haven't seen that build or that all in before. I don't lose the next game. He'll drop maybe a map and then never lose again. And that's something that he's repeated to me time and time again. And another thing that Stephano, and what really pushes him to be the best versus Protoss player, is that his scouting. He just understands the gas timings of the natural, what it actually means.
Yeah.
Whether it be, all right, my opponent is teching. He'll check the forge, knowing whether it's +1, whether it's +2. He can know exactly down to the very mineral count what you are up to.
Well, that's true. I mean, we were sitting backstage with Stephano when Tails versus Nest was going on, and when Tails had snuck that pylon into his space, when he was planning on doing that aggression, Stephano right away picked up that he could have scouted that the gases hadn't been taken at the natural yet. So yeah, he knows exactly what he's looking at every time he scouts. For sure here. And now we were talking about Cloud Kingdom a little bit earlier for Zerg. It can be a bit of a task kind of keeping and holding a third base on that. How do you think that's going to kind of affect what Stephano does here?
Well, Stephano is just going to react to whatever White-Ra does. So upon seeing this Nexus first, he isn't really going to do anything because it's obviously a little bit too late. And the risk has been taken by White-Ra, and it, of course, is going to pay off because he knows really, Stephano's style. It's not going to do anything funky here. But what Stephano's going to do, of course, we can already see Overlords traveling in position. That Overlord on the left there is going to wrap itself all the way around towards that third base and main base. The other Overlord is actually going to go towards the natural, above the natural. And you actually see, of course, the gateway coming down here, creating that wall off is going to build a cannon behind it, already scouting. Stephano, though, being the reactionary player, he does the same thing and then reacts. So he'll be going for that third hatchery, or like exactly on 4 minutes, every single time, and then he'll just be scouting what you're doing, what best, what drone count exactly to be at, what unit count exactly to be at.
Yeah, exactly. The Overlord scouting you brought up is such a great point because so many players, even at the pro level, you get about halfway through the game and you see a couple Overlords just kind of like milling around at their natural. Those guys could be out getting map control, man. I mean, that's their purpose. Yes, they give you some supply and stuff like that, but they're so good at keeping an eye on what your opponent is doing. If you don't do that as a Zerg player, you might as well just GG right there, right?
Absolutely. This Overlord here from Stephano, just on the high ground, just see one gas. That's the thing on Cloud Kingdom is you can't get both of the gases scouts, so maybe White-Ra could hide something there. But of course, he's going to throw down the 7-8 core. I wonder what White-Ra's going to go in to do here, whether it be for an aggressive play, whether it be for a 2-base timing, or whether he'll try to crawl towards a third base. Of course, Stephano in the background getting that third base up, droning consistently, won't take his gases until, roughly the 6-minute mark or so on. So whenever you're looking at this matchup right now, it's up to White-Ra. White-Ra's going to choose the first move in this game, and then, of course, Stephano will then adapt and react.
That's Stephano loves to do. He loves to just sit back and kind of react to his opponent. As far as what White-Ra is going to do, I mean, he's known for building carriers. He's known, even on 2 bases, he's known for going for carriers. I feel like this is a much, much more serious situation than what we've seen White-Ra play in recently. I think he's going to play this straight up. He does have that one Zealot harassing the natural just a little bit there, just to kind of be like, all right, Stephano, I saw your natural. Now I'm going to try to make you maybe make a few extra units you didn't need to before, just because you think you're going to need to possibly defend it a little bit sooner. So White-Ra kind of maybe trying to have a little bit of influence on Stephano here.
And, the Zealot basically is just there for confirmation of that third base. It's like, all right, it's there, that's fine. Stephano's playing how he usually does. Look at this, there is a pylon being put down up there by whiteRA on the top right. He is going to be looking to expand behind this. He spent actually not the majority, he spent every single chrono boost in this game on the Nexus, which means his probe count is incredibly high for the 6-minute 25 mark. It's actually at 37 when it should be down to the lower 30s. And that does get cancelled, that pylon there, but he is going to plant the Nexus down. Here's that extremist risk at the same time as losing drones into a couple of Zealots there.
Those Zealots actually doing a little bit of damage. Pick up one drone already, chasing away the Queen. And he gets a second drone too. So not a bad little poke here by whiteRA. Pulls those Zealots out in time. It looks like, Stephano not even bothering here. So 2 drones for free, that's not bad at all. And any little bit helps. Against a player like Stephano, you need every little edge you can get.
And he knows that these 2 Zealots aren't going to do anything from now on. He knows the Lings are out. He's like, all right, well, now I'm going to bring them back to defend this incredibly greedy third base I've taken. Look at him walling off this third base now. He's going to be trying to hold this third base. This is the important fact now here, Doa. If he doesn't hold this base, that's it. He's out of the game. He's gone. And if he does, then his income and his strength is going to be his economy. An amazing position for this little cute Zealot there.
I know. He's going to be able to kill the most Stalkers, or most Zerglings, rather. He can. The Stalker coming in a little bit from behind. Looks like that may, just gets away here. A lot of gateways going up for whiteRA, as you can see here, really gearing up for a big attack. Getting that +1 a little bit late, but, it's because of that really, really fast expansion here, too.
And, well, now Stephano's like, oh, whiteRA, okay, that's all right. Now, I know what I'm doing. Now it's down. And you can think about it as chess play. One player takes a move, the next player takes a move, then again back.
Stephano
so right now, it's now up to Stephano. It's Stephano's turn to do something in this game. whiteRA's shown, hey, I'm going to take this really early third base. If you don't do something to punish me, whether that be aggression, and as we actually see, it is a 4th base coming down here instead of aggression. So this is actually really, really good for whiteRA, who of course want to power away on 6 gases. That unlocks a lot of different, potential strategies, potential tech paths for whiteRA to choose now. We do have roaches being built anyway. Stephano's at a pretty decent drone count, 65, so he will look to pressure in places, but the gateway count has really climbed up high now, where he's going to have the units necessary to defend locations.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risk here by Stephano here. I mean, whiteRA is going to be in a great position. It's really easy to get maxed off of 3 bases, get your upgrades going, get really any sort of tech path you want. Like you mentioned, he's got a lot of options here. whiteRA building up a little bit of a force by his base. And Stephano just kind of continuing to make roaches right now, going for mostly roach upgrades. And it's really it seems like about 130 food for Zerg. When they have a ton of roaches, that's when they can really start putting on the pressure. I think that's what Stephano's going to go for.
And this is going to be really difficult, because what Stephano's going to go for is not the third base. He should be trying to go for the natural, because it's very open. There's no wall in, there's no cannons there.
Yeah.
And if he breaks the disruptor rocks down, of course he can go in. What he may try on the left-hand side is try to break down the gateways first of all, because of course the cannons behind it can't really reach the roaches here, and then maybe kind of swing around, because we do see him going straight in.
The force field a little bit misplaced. Second one goes down. He does trap a couple roaches here, but 3 cannons plus those units. Stephano needing to make a run for it right away. No way he's breaking that at the moment.
Yeah, and now he has to go to the natural area. Look, there is a pylon down here by whiteRA, who is starting to ramp up the gateway production. He has Blink coming and Immortals. And Stephano just staying on a Ling Roach, so kind of staying on a mid-tier level of units. whiteRA's production and his kind of unit composition is actually very nice against what Stephano has here. And if Stephano can't do damage, we talked about the strength and economy that whiteRA's going to have to be able to go for an incredibly strong
pylon too. This is one thing that's really helping out Stephano. He's finding every single pylon that whiteRA puts down almost immediately. So, it looks like that one he didn't kill the pylon. Zealots get into the third base. They're going to kill the Queen off, maybe do a little bit of damage here. Stephano able to come back and respond in time, but a little bit of an uncharacteristic slip up there, I would say, by Stephano.
Yeah, and this is looking, pretty good for whiteRA here. I mean,
not bad.
We do see the infestation. Cancel there. We do see the infestation pit coming down, so he does want to tech up very shortly here. Add infestors, potentially go up to the high, but look at all these useless units here for Stephano. He hasn't done anything. He's built them, but he hasn't done anything. And whiteRA's now working on +2. He has a good amount of sentries. Hasn't lost any sentries. He's got Immortals in the mix now. With the second Immortal joining the fray, this Roach composition is not really going to be able to do anything, especially if you have a third one coming in the production.
Stephano's going to definitely need to come up with something else to win this game here. He's not going to be able to break this third. Again, he tries, maybe pokes out, sees if he gets whiteRA a little bit out of position, but now he's just leaving some units there. It looks like he might try to come in from 2 sides here. building a lot of spine crawlers at home as well to defend his fourth. But Stephano, he seems to be a little bit struggling here. He's got to buy time until the infestors come out. And look at that, White Raw going for a Stargate. Interesting timing for that. Maybe we will see carriers this game after all, who knows. Although just a couple of Phoenixes and Void Raves would be quite helpful as well.
And look at this, Stephano's just going to the third base here. White Raw's comfortable to defend it with Zealots and Cannons. That may not be the best decision there, but at the same time, he blinks aggressively forward here. He's going to push himself towards that fourth base. We do see the spine crawls finish though, but look at the amount of damage being dealt on that third base.
Yeah, a lot. And look at this, White Raw trying to break in, but the spine crawlers have finished. The sentries, yeah, they're all taking damage from the spine crawlers here.
Stephano just targets them down like nothing, and now there's no force field. It's still a very strong army there, but he is losing the majority of probes on that third base at the back.
Yep, one Immortal there and some Stalkers, so they should be able to clean that up here, and White Raw should be able to get the fourth. But, you know, if White Raw loses basically his third, and Stephano only loses his fourth, Stephano is still in a great place. White Raw needs to continue this push here to make it worth it, and that's going to be so hard without sentries.
Oh, man, without force fields, Lynx can just get in there, and now we do have Infestors coming in, so we can hold units in position here, and White Raw just didn't have enough to hold on to that back third base. He lost 20 probes in that. His income has dropped down to 1,400 compared to the 1,900 it actually was before that, and now Stephano has got a lead in this game because of that little mistake there by White Raw.
Yeah, he also took another fourth base up at the top left part of the map, as we saw here, so still not neglecting his economy at all, not allowing himself to be held just on 3 bases. White Raw still kind of posturing in the middle of the map here, but neither player at a position where they can really make any overly aggressive moves right now. There's a fleet beacon for White Raw. Yeah, I think we might see some special tactics after all here, game 1.
Yeah, we will be, and he's going to be adding on Colossus as well, knowing that his composition, well, Stephano's composition is pretty weak against that, especially the Infestors, of course. He does have +3 on the way. You know, White Raw has to get off the map now. There's too many Lings, there's too many Infestors, he can stamp and just hold all the units, and if that happens, then White Raw can kiss those units goodbye. So he has to sit back defensive now, he has to sit back on 3 base, build these double Colossus up, get that Mothership out, then look to do a strong push. But that is a long time, though, until that actually happens, right? So that allows Stephano to do a lot of different things here.
I'm actually a bit relieved, too, that he is going for the Mothership, because it's obviously the right choice in this situation. This is a bit more standard PvZ out of White Raw right now. But yeah, you're right, the sentry count is just so low. How can he engage this army? He really just can't right now.
And Stephano knows he killed all the sentries, so what has he really got to hold this off? Nothing. These units can be snapped down, and the Lings are going to get in there, and Stephano is going to do a lot of damage here before the Colossus
on the
get
high
there.
ground. Oh, he's going to kill a lot of the Zerglings with this, but is it going to be enough? He managed to pick off 1 Infestor, taking some pretty heavy losses. It looks like it's just going to be barely enough to push Stephano back. Oh, what are the Infestors doing? Oh, no.
The Colossus, man, they popped out at the best time possible there for White Raw, and unfortunately for Stephano, it's going to lose a lot more than he actually dealt damage towards, considering he's lost his 4th base, right? He doesn't have that strong economy. And we do have the double Colossus coming out, the Mothership on its way. White Raw now has to push before Hive. He knows now that Stephano's working towards Hive. He's at Ling Infestor. If he doesn't, well, good luck facing Broodlords with this composition you have. You don't really have that many Stalkers anymore. He has to go in before. He's adding on that Forge. He actually did lose a Forge. I think he lost +3 there as well. So he's stuck at +2, which was a brilliant snipe there by Stephano as he got in.
Yeah, at least he got something out of that push. You know, it didn't go overly well, but he got a little bit of something out of that. White Raw adding on the Templar Archives as well. He wants to get those Archons out as soon as possible. Really, the only thing that he can hope to go up against that Broodlord composition that we talked about was that Archon Toilet Maneuver, of course, which is so effective here. But Stephano, you know, we've seen him go up against that style in the past, and he's just so good at splitting his Corruptors and things that it's not quite as effective against him.
So many Infestors out, though. There's like 12 out now across the map. An incredible high count. If White Raw only knew about that top left base, he'd be there in an instant to snipe it. It's so easy to snipe it, yet he doesn't know about it, which is giving Stephano a breath of fresh air here in this game, knowing that he lost an incredible amount, but 10 Corruptors are on the way now. The Greatest Spy hasn't started yet, actually. It needs to start, and that's a little bit of a slip-up there by Stephano. I'm just looking around, and I don't see it anywhere.
I think that's actually just a mistake by him. Starting a second Spire for upgrades, but no Greater Spire yet for Stephano.
Well, I guess he's just going to be like, all right, well, I need Corruptors to get rid of the Colossus, because if I get rid of the Colossus immediately, then my Ling and Infestors can do more damage. So I feel like he's holding off from the Broodlords for now. But at the same time, White Ra has got a little squad of Zealots running down the right-hand side here, looking to find expansions. If only it was in the bottom right. He thinks it's there, but it's actually in the top left, unfortunately.
Well, he can potentially send at least these to the third base, maybe do a little bit of damage there. White Ra is getting his +3 weapons now. Look at that, his armor upgrades are so behind. Only now just getting +1 here, adding on a Warp Prism as well, it looks like. And yeah, as our observer showed us, still no sign of that base at all for White Ra. He has no idea that it's there.
I mean, like I said, if only he knew that it would be such an easy snipe for him. And actually, he may walk down there now. Oh, he sees the creep.
Now he knows.
So he will be able to go down.
Now
but
he knows.
I really like the addition of the cannons above that fourth base because he knows Infestors are very strong, of course.
Look at this, a second Warp Prism, though, for White Ra. That's interesting. Are we going to see maybe just a lot of drop harass at different bases from him as well to try to get back into this game?
Yeah, Zealots, when they're at +3, they just shred through everything. And there's nothing really defending the main base, the expansions in the far corners. We actually do see some Lings running here. A single Colossus is going to do a lot of damage, especially if it gets picked up by a Warp Prism.
Nice.
But the Zealot is in danger, and that means that he's going to be able to walk into the natural cannons go down. He tries to warp in additional. A nice wall off.
Wow, that was as close as you cut it. Oh, but the Lings get into the third base. They're going to do a lot of damage there as well. More Lings coming in for Stephano, doing a ton of damage with this. Now there is a Warp Prism coming towards one of Stephano's bases.
He kills a Colossus on the natural there. At the same time, you know, he is pushing through the middle with this big army, but these Lings are useless right now. He doesn't want them, so he's getting rid of them, but taking damage at the same time. We have a Zealot working on the top left expansion finally. Warp Prism, though, warping in Zealots to the bottom here, so they're going to start harassing these naked expansions. Brutals, though, are pretty damn slow, and they're not going to be able to get there anywhere near to actually do damage here.
Well, here's the thing, too. White Ra's Mothership has been out for so long. It's got plenty of energy for Vortex. He's got a decent amount of Archons. He's got 4 right now, I think, which is enough. He's making a 5th at the moment, so he might, if he gets just a perfect Vortex, be in good shape.
Oh, if he gets this in, if he gets that Great Aspire, he could get the Great Aspire, he could get the Spawning Pool, the Infestation Pit. All the high-tech structures are in here.
Going right for the Greater Spire right away, and these are +3 Zealots. They're going to kill it very quickly. The Lings coming in, but are they going to get their time? They're not going after the right Zealots. Oh, Stephano! He's going to lose the Greater Spire.
No, transfuse the Queen!
Transfuse. What?
The Queen!
That was...
He gets it anyway.
Oh, man. I looked away because I thought the Zealots had died. He got it. That was 3 transfuses used by Stephano. It just was not enough. What a great snipe for White Ra. This is like one of the closest games I've seen in a long time.
White Ra, he travels so much. He must have like the platinum card, Wi-Fi on the plane. He must practice there while he's traveling. I mean, he's in a really comfortable position right now. Of course, killing that Great Spy means no more Broodlord. The big problem here is, though, he still has to land the Vortex. No doubt about it, he has to land the Vortex.
And here's the thing, Stephano is, I've actually talked with him about this. He knows that he needs to spread out his Corruptors quite a bit when engaging a Protoss army like this. You're not going to catch him with everything clumped up. Another Ling run by here in a couple bases. He keeps making Lings, though. I don't know if that's the best allocation of resources right now for Stephano.
Well, the thing is, the first initial wave of Lings being sacrificed was just, I have Lings. But these are more like, I have minerals to spend. Let's try to slow White Ra's economy down, which he's doing extremely well here. But the problem is, White Ra's at 200 supply. His upgrades now, +3 attack. He has the shield, or well, 1 shield upgrade and 1 armor upgrade, and he's working on +2 for both right now here. So he's going to try and look for the perfect engagement.
White Ra ready to push here.
If he can manage to do it, man, he can win this game.
Yeah. Observer getting picked off. White Ra knows exactly where he is. That Mothership lagging a little bit behind. He has to be careful that doesn't get caught by the Corruptors. Looks like White Ra pushing into that 4th base. Stephano needs to respond
here. The Mothership is caught naked. The Mothership is out of position. It has to Vortex the infested Terrans.
Oh, he gets a lot of Corruptors in there, but there's nothing. Can he get the Archons in there in time, though? I don't know.
Well, these are more defensive Vortexes. How many Corruptors went in there?
I don't know if that's the right Vortex to get those in. We'll see. A lot of Corruptors actually got in there. Yeah, there they are.
All the Corruptors died. 8 Corruptors there.
Man.
But still, the Mothership was out of position there. There were more defensive Vortexes not to lose the Mothership.
What does he do about the Brood
But now he doesn't have a Vortex. Now he cannot combat the Broodlords, the Infestors, until that energy is back. White Ra has to stall for at least 2 minutes here before that energy is back, and Stephano is just going to try to go for it, man. If he can hit this timing before the Vortex is back, he can win the game now, and tables have turned. Stephano smells the weaknesses and is going for it.
Yeah, a lot of Infestors, a lot of Broodlords here. White Ra still has a decent amount of damage from his Archons and his Stalkers, but you know, without that energy on the Mothership for another Vortex, it's going to be so difficult for White Rod to engage. You can see he's avoiding the army. He's just going to be like, all right, I just need to trade bases until I get the energy. Then I need to try to kill the army, but it looks like Stephano might not let him.
I don't know, there's not that much energy on these Infestors, so Stephano is going in now. The Broodlords start raining down. White Rod has to combat the Broodlords. He has to get underneath them, but oh no, the Mothership's been taken. The Mothership has been taken.
It is now a Zerg Mothership.
Everything is invisible. Everything is invisible here, and Stephano is crushing this.
Yep, those cloaked Broodlords, man, they're pretty tough to deal with. All the ground army, pretty much everything destroyed here. The final Colossus going down, the Mothership just kind of chilling out, because, you know, why not? After you spend some time with the Zerg Force, it's hard to go back, you know?
Oh, that army was so expensive there for White Rod. The Mothership, the Colossus, the Stalkers, the Immortals, everything in there. He does not have the income to replace that. He's working off 800 minerals income, 700 gas per minute. That is not enough to replenish that. Stephano now on the edge of victory.
Probe's got that
after a 28-minute game here.
Yeah, I think it was really close, but that fight may have sealed the deal for Stephano. I think it certainly did. He's got a lot of Archons here.
He's got to be careful with these Broodlords. I mean, the Archons could run underneath. There's a couple of storms available. Oh, actually, no storms available, actually. He hasn't researched it yet. But this is, you know, looking incredibly good here for Stephano. He's taking more expansions on the left-hand side of the map now, and it's all going to come down. Can White Rod rebuild that Mothership in time? Can he get it out? Can he hold on until it has another Vortex? He still has a decent amount of Archons here, Doa, but at the same time, Stephano, that's so much free time for Stephano to hit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, not only does he have to wait for the Mothership, he has to wait for the energy on the Mothership. These Archons getting attacked by the Lynx. Stephano can afford to just kind of throw units away here. And yeah, he's not even really, he's just being a little bit wasteful. He knows he's that far ahead. It doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, look at this. He just wants to get rid of the Archons. Once the Archons gone, what's a Mothership without the Archons? Even Neuroparasites want to grab it. And, you know, Stephano taking losses, but look, he must Broodlords upon the Stalkers leaving here. He's very confident. He has so many Broodlords. 5 more High Templar being whooped in. Stephano seeming very calm, very patient on that clip. White Rod, very focused, knows that he could have thrown this game away, though.
I think he definitely, I mean, by leaving that Mothership out in the open, being forced to use those 2 Vortexes, that was a turning point in the game. You know, when I saw him walking across the map like that, saw the Mothership lagging a little bit behind, I was like, I don't know, man, that's really dangerous. And Stephano, you just cannot do that type of thing against him. He's going to capitalize on it every single time.
Do have some zealots doing a bit of harassment.
A little bit of harassment.
White Rod's kind of last stand here, but the thing is, what can he do to combat those Broodlords? And the answer is, well, not a lot. There is a Mothership coming, but he's lost his 4th base now, so that says basically his income's going to drop to nothing. The 3rd base is almost mined out now. He does have the Mothership. He has a few remaining Archons. He has 2, 3, potentially 4 Archons once morphed here, and a Vortex. That's going to be it. He has to try to bank up. He's not just going to let this game go.
Let's like talk scenarios here. Even if he Vortexes half of the Broodlords, that's still 7 Broodlords left. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming in. For Stephano, look at this. The Broodlords already so beautifully split up. He's going to get like maybe 4 maximum with a Vortex. So yeah, it's a horrible situation that you have to be in, where you kind of have to count on your opponent making a mistake to be able to win the game. You never want to be in that spot.
And look, Stephano's even spreading. Look, he can't even fit it on one screen. He's spreading the Broodlords out, realizing that the one hope from White Rod is that Vortex. Now the Mothership's actually getting targeted down by Corruptors. The Archons have to come to defend the Mothership, but now the Archons aren't able to go into the toilet, and all the options now are just crumbling down for White Rod. Stephano just looking so strong. Neuroparasite the Mothership again.
He needs a probe to start making Protoss units now. That's what we need to see, I think, out of White Rod, or out of Stephano rather. But yeah, it's just kind of the beginning of the end here for White Rod. He played such a good game, though, such a close game. This game already was much, much more close than anything, much closer than anything we saw at that show match here.
I mean, you can't underestimate White Rod. You know, you just cannot. He has got another base, and he's not giving up. He is going to lose his 3rd base now to the Broodlords. The Mothership is Neuroparasite again. Vortex, what
uses
was that
the
like?
Energy. That is about it.
What went in there? Like a High Templar?
I think like a probe and a High Templar. They're like, well, this is an interesting experience.
The Mothership is going to go down now, and with that going down, that is kind of White Rod's only option now. He actually Vortexed 3 probes and just wasting that energy. So even if it did survive, we do have Zealots going all over the place, and White Rod is working with so little money. I don't know where these units are coming from. He's like, all right, I can send 3 zealots here, 1 zealot up there. Drones getting a surround on the top left, but
never give up, never surrender here. But when you've got drones killing your +3/+3 zealots, that's not a situation you want to be in. I guess it's +2 armor. GG! And Millennium Stephano takes a very close game, for most of it anyway, against TT Sports White Raw. You know, I really feel like White Raw could have won that game.
Yes, definitely, because